Hello Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Pisces, so we're going to focus on your past, present, as well as your future, and then we're going to also see the ultimate outcome of your current situation. So let's get started. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for their past, present, as well as their future. So in the past, we do have the Three of Swords. Your current energy is the Five of Swords. And in the near future, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, you could be dealing with a Virgo, possibly an Aquarius, maybe even a Libra or a Gemini. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case, though. But okay. There is, Pisces, an overall energy of you connecting with somebody that you don't necessarily trust entirely. It's like you think that this person's out to get you. It's like you think this person doesn't have your best interests at heart. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this person does have your best interests at heart or not. Obviously, we're going to look into this person and see, what we get, but I am definitely getting, an overall energy of you connecting with somebody that you don't trust, somebody that you basically think doesn't necessarily have your best interests at heart. All right, let's look at this Three of Swords energy here in the recent past. So we have the Queen of Cups, we got the Two of Wands, and then we also have the Nine of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Cups, we also have the Three of Cups to the Three of Wands, and then we also have the King of Pentacles. I mean, you are currently connecting with a King of Pentacles, which I really do like. A King of Pentacles is somebody who's very big on commitment, but also very, very big on loyalty. I feel like from the start of this relationship, this person definitely has been taking you in this dynamic that they share with you seriously. I'm not getting any sort of deception or anything like that in this person's energy. Obviously, we're still going to look a little bit more into this person and see what else we can get. But I mean, so far so good. I'm not getting any sort of red flags coming from them whatsoever. I feel like I said, from the moment this relationship started between the two of you, they've definitely been taking you in this dynamic that they share with you seriously. Even when you guys were in the talking stage, and you guys were just simply getting to know one another, I feel like they were still, taking you in this dynamic that they share with you seriously. In other words, when you guys were in this talking stage, I don't believe that they were talking to you and multiple people at the same exact time. It kind of looks like, there's that type of person that just likes to focus on one person and one person at a time. That's just kind of how they are as an individual, is basically what I'm gathering. But anyways, with the Queen of Cups to the Two of Wands to the Nine of Pentacles coming out here to clarify the Three of Swords, don't get me wrong. I feel like you really, really do like this person. I feel like this is, for the most part, just signifying a very strong and intense emotional attachment that you have, towards this particular person that I see you connecting with. However, because you don't necessarily trust them entirely, because you think that this person's out to get you, they don't have your best interests at heart, I do feel like you try your hardest to not get too excited or even get your hopes up when it comes onto this person. But I feel like it has a lot to do with this like belief that you have of them, that they don't have your best interests at heart. They're out to get you, you shouldn't trust them. I feel like that's what prevents you from getting too excited and too hopeful. I am definitely getting that. Okay, now let's look at this Five of Swords energy. We have the King of Swords, we have the Chariot, and then we also have the King of Cups. True pair situation between you and this person. We do have the King and the Queen of Cups. I feel like your heart is in the right place when it comes down to this person. I feel like this person's heart is in the right place when it comes down to you. I just kind of feel like right now I kind of see you going through this overall energy of, well, I know I mean well, I just don't know if they do. I am definitely getting that. And because you don't know if this person truly does mean well or if this person's heart is truly in the right place, it causes you to feel like you have to be extremely guarded within this dynamic that you share with this person. But I don't know. It's like every time I look at your person, I don't really get any sort of red flags off of them whatsoever, Pisces. And I'm just being honest and transparent with you. I'm really not getting any red flags coming from this person whatsoever. I don't feel like this person comes across as, somebody who has anything to hide. In other words, they're not harnessing a guilty conscience. That's something that I typically look for. I'm not really getting that, whatsoever, coming from this person. I just feel like this person knows that they essentially mean well. I feel like this person knows that their heart is in the right place when it comes on to you. I think this person knows that their intentions are coming from a very pure and sincere place, because it truly is. So again, I'm not really getting any sort of red flags or anything like that off of this person. This person comes off to me as somebody who just simply doesn't have anything to hide. But I feel like you seem to think and believe the complete opposite. Like, you're when you look at this person, you think to yourself, this person's hiding something from you. You think to yourself, this person's untrustworthy. You think to yourself that this person's heart is not in the right place, but it actually is. It actually is. Okay, so in the near future, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. So let's see what's going on there. We got the Knight of Pentacles, we got the Knight of Cups, and then we also have the Lovers out here. Okay, so in the near future, Pisces, I do see things getting very serious here between you and this person. You know, it kind of looks like this is what's really going on here. From the moment this relationship started between the two of you, you already didn't trust them. You already thought that this person, you know, wasn't going to have your best interests at heart. You already thought that this person was going to hurt you and disappoint you and let you down. And it kind of looks like that never actually occurred. It kind of looks like that never actually happened as far as like them disappointing you and letting you down is concerned. And then pining after you for all the wrong reasons is concerned. So as this relationship starts to grow and develop, we kind of see you still with the same old mentality of, they're out to get me, they don't have my best interests at heart, I gotta watch my back when it comes down to this person, not having any sort of legitimate reason to be this way or think this way about them. You just do, right? Because I would understand if you had like a legitimate reason to think that this person's out to get you, to think that this person doesn't have your best interest at heart, to think, you know what I mean, that they're like a cheater and a deceiver. But I don't feel like you have any sort of legitimate like reason to honestly think this way about them. I just feel like you just do for whatever reason. Now, we start to see things get far more serious here, you know, between the two of you. I just kind of feel like you're out here making major life decisions with somebody that you clearly don't trust. And as you're out here making these major life decisions with them, like for example, getting a place with them, starting a family with them, you know, jumping into a full-blown committed relationship with them. We see you doing all of this while not trusting them at the same exact time, while still feeling like you have to watch your back when it comes down to them. And I feel like the only reason why we see you making major life decisions with this person is because there's times where you allow your heart to call the shots in this entire situation versus your mind, because you're battling two things at once, right? You're battling what your heart wants you to do in this entire situation, and then you're battling what your mind wants you to do in this entire situation. It's like your mind is telling you, run as far as you possibly can from this person because they're not trustworthy. They're going to betray you. They're going to deceive you. They're going to play you. They're going to waste your time. They're going to take advantage of you. But then your heart's like, no, they really do love you. They really do care about you. You should really give them a chance. You should really take them seriously. So we do kind of see you allowing your heart to kind of call the shots here in the near future, which is prompting you to make a major life decision, like purchasing a home with them, getting a place with them, starting a family with them, entering a full-blown committed relationship with them, things of that nature. Now let's look at the ultimate outcome here. So we have the Ace of Wands with the Fool to the Five of Pentacles, and then we also have the Empress out here. Okay. As far as the ultimate outcome is concerned, I do see you eventually reaching this point of wanting to leave this relationship. I'm just kind of curious as to why. Tell me more about the Five of Pentacles. It is stemming from a place of you essentially feeling... It is stemming from a place of you essentially feeling like in order to attain this level of happiness and joy and emotional satisfaction that you truly want and desire, you know, it requires you to leave the very thing that doesn't provide you with all of that as far as like happiness, joy, emotional satisfaction is concerned, which is referring to your dynamic with this person. There's an overall energy of you just being extremely unhappy, you know, with this person. Is basically what I'm getting. And I feel like you're kind of sick and tired of living life, you know, having someone by your side that you're just so unhappy with is basically what I'm getting. Can I say something really quickly here? And don't get mad at me because I'm just being honest and transparent with you. You know, because when I see something, I gotta say something. Because I feel like you're blaming this person for your unhappiness, okay? Can can I just, I'm being honest and transparent with you. You already know how I am. If you've been with me for a while, you already know how I am, okay? I feel like you could experience that sense of like joy and happiness that you truly want and desire to have and experience in your life with this person in it. I just kind of feel like because you refuse to get rid of this belief that you have of them, that's what's really causing you to become extremely unhappy in this dynamic. It isn't them, it truly is this belief that you have. But I feel like you just don't see it that way, Pisces. Like, I feel like you look at this entire situation and this belief that you have of them, and you just kind of place all of the blame on them. Like, they're the reason why I don't trust them. They're the reason why I'm unhappy. They're the reason why I'm on edge. They're the reason why I feel like I have to constantly look over my shoulder when it comes down to them. But they are not actually the reason. It's this belief that you have that causes you to feel like you have to look over your shoulder, that causes you to feel like you can't trust them, that causes you to feel like they are actually out to get you. Even though your physical reality with this person doesn't align with your belief, you still believe what you believe either which way. You see what I mean? Um, because your physical reality with this person just does not match what you believe. It doesn't align to what you believe. Your belief and what's really going on here and what you really have in your life, um, it just doesn't it just doesn't align, Pisces. It does not align. It just doesn't align. Um, and here's why I firmly believe this. Here's why I firmly believe this. In the near future, I do see you allowing your heart, right, to like call the shots, right, when it comes down to this dynamic that you currently find yourself in, which is prompting you, right, to want to go off and, purchase a home with them, start a family with them, get married to them, things of that nature. But I feel like what's also causing you to do this has a lot to do with you going based off of your physical reality with this person. Because if you're going based off of your physical reality with this person, you can clearly see how serious and committed and devoted this person actually is to you and this dynamic that they share with you. But the moment that you start allowing your mind to call the shots, the moment that you start listening to your mind and paying more attention to your mind versus your physical reality with this person versus your intuition, um, that's what causes you to become so unhappy in this dynamic here. Pisces, your mind and these negative and intrusive thoughts that you tend to get in this dynamic just doesn't allow you to be happy with this person. But it truly isn't this person's fault. It truly is this belief that you have of them, that you've always had of them from the start. Because I feel like this belief that you have of them literally started the moment that you met them. It's like you took one good look at them and you're just like, yeah, you look like a damn player to me. But I guess we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I guess time will tell. And then time started to reveal to you how wrong you actually were about this person, but you still believed what you wanted to believe either which way, that they're a player, they're out to get you, they don't have your best interests at heart, it's only a matter of time before they deceive you, it's only a matter of time. But then your physical reality continued to show you how serious they actually are about you. You see what I mean? To the point where we do kind of see you eventually deciding to accept the fact that, okay, well, maybe this person's not as bad as I think they are. But then you start falling right back into this energy of, well, I just don't trust them. And because I just don't trust them, I'm really unhappy here. And, they're the one to essentially blame here. I just don't agree with that, Pisces. And I'm being real with you. Like, if I truly felt like this person was the cause of like your unhappiness, I would have been on board with you and I would have just sat there and agreed with you, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say like, yeah, like Pisces, you're right, they are the blame, for your unhappiness. I can't say that to you because then I will be lying to you and I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I'm not trying to do that, Pisces. I can't agree with you on this whole, they're the reason why I'm unhappy. I think that the reason why you're unhappy in this dynamic has a lot to do with the fact that you want to believe what you want to believe so badly about this person. Even if your physical reality doesn't match what you believe, you still want to believe what you want to believe. That they're out to get you. They don't have your best interest at heart. They're playing you. They're deceiving you. Like, these things won't allow you to be happy with this person, you know? And you have the power and the ability to just get rid of this belief that you have. You just don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to get rid of this belief that you have of them. You don't want to, because deep down inside you truly think that you're right, even though everything around you is telling you that you're wrong. You still think that you're right about them. You still think that you're right about them. And that's the problem, is that even though everything around you is telling you you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, Pisces, you're wrong about this person, you still think you're right, you know? And this is why you're so unhappy in this relationship, or this is why you're gonna be so unhappy in this relationship, and this is why you're gonna be miserable in this relationship, because what you truly believe about this person is something that you feel like you're dead right about when it comes down to them, you know? How is this person going to feel about all of this? We have the Eight of Pentacles, we do have the World, and then we also have the Two of Pentacles. This person comes off to me as somebody who just doesn't really know how to give up on the things that they truly want in life and the things that truly matter to them in life, is basically what I'm getting. You are somebody who matters to them. You're somebody who means a lot to them. So giving up on you and what they share with you, it just isn't an option in their mind. Like walking away from you is not an option in their mind. Starting over is not an option in their mind. Allowing you, for example, to walk out of their life, it's just not an option in their mind. And I feel like this is something that they're going to find themselves doing frequently in their relationship with you. They're going to constantly find themselves trying to convince you into staying with them, time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. I am definitely getting that, and I feel like on multiple different occasions they will be successful at convincing you into not ending things with them, into not leaving them. I am definitely getting that. This person's going to spend a lot of time trying to convince you into staying with them and not ending things with them. And you're going to find yourself spending a lot of time wanting to run in the opposite direction of them. And it's because of this belief that you have of them. That is not true, by the way. You're holding on to a false narrative. You just don't think that you are. You just don't think that you are, nor do you believe that you are, is basically what I'm getting. So when you do reach this point of feeling like it's just time, right, for you to let this person go and walk away, because I do see you eventually reaching that point. I see this person coming in, trying to work things out with you, trying to convince you into changing your mind and things like that. Will they be successful at it is the real question. We have the Queen of Swords, we got the Eight of Cups, and then we also have the Nine of Cups. I feel like there will come a point in time where this person's not going to be able to continue to convince you into essentially staying with them, is basically what I'm getting. So I feel like they're going to be successful at it. I feel like this person's going to be successful at changing your mind. Quite often, yeah, I am definitely getting that, but there will come a point in time where they're not going to be able to change your mind. They're not going to be able to convince you into continuing to stay with them. It's basically what I'm getting, and it is stemming from a place of you just simply wanting to be happy. That's it, and have peace of mind is basically what I'm getting. So yeah, I feel like there will come a point in time where they won't be successful at continuing to change your mind and convince you into continuing to basically stay with them, is basically what I'm getting. With the Nine of Swords to the Eight of Swords coming out here, that creates an Ace of Swords at play, which represents a sword of truth. It also represents clarity. I feel like when you make that final decision to walk away for good and not allow this person to convince you again and to continue to stay with them and work things out with them, for one, I feel like they're going to be shocked that you're really, really leaving them. And well, for two, I see this person having a very difficult time adjusting to life without you in it, is basically what I'm getting. Like, I feel like they're going to try to move forward and move on with their life, but I feel like they're going to find themselves constantly reminded of you. They're going to find themselves having a hard time adjusting to life without you in it. This is not going to be an easy journey for this person as far as getting over you is concerned. It is not going to be an easy journey for this person by any means. It's just not. Um, it's not, but I feel like you will eventually reach this point of deciding to not allow this person to convince you into continuing to stay with them anymore. Because a lot of you feel like the more you stay with this person, the more you are just simply putting your happiness on the back burner. Um, but, that's my thing, Pisces. You know what I mean? I don't think that this person truly is the cause of your unhappiness. I think that the cause of your unhappiness stems from this belief that you had of them from the very beginning of your relationship with this person, which is kind of making me feel between you and I. You took one good look at this person and you already started throwing a boatload of like labels out there. They're a player, they look like a liar too, like a deceiver. They kind of look a little narcissistic too, but I could be wrong about them. Let me still talk to them though. Let me still get to know them. And then, things just got serious over time between the two of you. Still having the same belief that you have of them no matter what. And it kind of looks like you just weren't able to like shake this narrative that you had of them from the very start, you know? Um, like I said, I think that you're not looking at this clearly, Pisces. I think that you're blaming this person for your unhappiness. I think that you're blaming this person for these intrusive thoughts that you tend to get about them, doing X, Y, and Z behind your back, things of that nature, but they are truly not to blame here. It's this belief that you had of them from the start that's the cause, to your unhappiness that you could very well do away with. You know what I mean? You could do away with this belief that you have. You could do away with this negative narrative that you have of this person. You just don't want to because you believe that you're truly right. You believe that you're truly right about this person. Um, and there's really nothing I think this person can say or anybody could say that's going to cause you to change your mind about them. Is basically what I'm getting, Pisces. So you will eventually walk away from this, and they will eventually try to stop you like they do every other time. I just don't feel like they're going to be successful at it. At some point in time, they're not going to be successful at convincing you into staying with them. At some point. And I feel like, that day it will definitely rock this person's world because at the end of the day, regardless if you believe this to be true or not, they love you and you mean a lot to them. So you got to understand through their perspective, they're literally losing the love of their life um, for things that are completely and utterly out of their control. So imagine how they're going to feel, because the only reason why they're really losing you is because you're unhappy with them because you don't trust them. But the fact that you don't trust them has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with, this belief that you have, that you've always had of them the moment that you laid eyes on them. And that's not their fault. You know what I mean? So this is going to really fucking suck, I would say, for this person. This is really gonna suck. Not only are they losing the love of their life, but they're losing the love of their life over things that they can't control. They can't control the fact that you don't trust them. They can't control the fact that you think that they're out to get you. They can't control the fact that you think that they're a liar, a manipulator, a deceiver. They can't control any of those things. They can't. The only thing that they can do is prove to you otherwise, which I believe that they have gone that far to do so. And even then, that's just still it's just still not enough to convince you that you're wrong about them. Because like I said, your physical reality with this person continues to show you how wrong you are about them. You just choose to believe no matter what that you're right. You know what I mean? And it's like their hands are tied here basically when it comes down to you. They can only do so much. You know what I mean? So I mean it sucks, that they're gonna find themselves going through the day that they actually do lose you and the day that you actually do decide that's it, I'm getting up and I'm walking away, I can't do this anymore. It's gonna suck for them. It is going to definitely suck for them. But hey, it's your life and you get to do what you want with it. I'm just being honest and transparent with you, Pisces. Like, trust me when I tell you, your unhappiness doesn't have anything to do with this person like you think it does. It has everything to do with this belief that you have of them. It truly does. All right, so that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.